All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're back live and we are looking at the timeline. All right, so we're playing Clue. Girlfriend just got home from work and we're about to smoke one, right? We're about to smoke a little blunt. And I already did the work already over here. I already wrote everything down that I had to write. And yeah, so we're going to take a look at the timeline, right? So the way it goes, right? The way it goes is July 4th. People are going to party. People are gonna do a cookout. People are gonna watch fireworks. People are gonna drink alcohol. You hear that? Okay, so everybody pretty much on the same boat. Get it? Get the joke? Okay. Everybody on the same boat. You heard? Okay. All jokes aside, um, rest in peace, Nolan Wells, and condolences to his family. And hopefully they get justice as soon as possible because, see, it seems to me like Mississippi got them retarded. Quimby, not Quim. I'm thinking Quimby. It's not Quimby. Quimby was the mayor of The Simpsons. What was the name of the cop? Wiggum. Yeah, Detective Wiggum. Okay, there we go. There we go. I said Wimby earlier. Okay. So it seems to me that Mississippi got a bunch of a bunch of fucking Wiggums in the fucking police force in the police department. Okay, these guys are retarded. Okay, along with them being retarded, these dumbasses in Mississippi are stupid. They gotta be so stupid. No matter what happened, you gotta be stupid. If you was on that boat with Nolan Wells, whatever the case may be, if you saw what happened, all that shit, you're just stupid for not coming out and just telling the truth. Cause now it's a conspiracy. It is a proven or actual secret agreement between two or more people to commit fraud, wrongful act, or a crime. Period. Okay? Let's start there. We're going to start there, okay? The facts are that there is, an audio. There is an audio from a CETO dispatch. Okay? That's one thing that nobody can deny. We're not playing videos here. We're not going to play no AI bullshit. We're not going to play TikTok or Instagram, anything else. We're getting information from specific sources. Everybody could pretty much say Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace has done a great job behind this, putting on the pressure on white people right now. Nancy Grace got a black card. Doesn't matter. Yo, listen right now. Nancy Grace got a black card right now. Nancy Grace putting all the pressure on white people right now. I heard because she's not saying that this was a racist act. And I honestly don't think this was a racist act. I think what happens afterwards definitely has to do with racist acts, like the cops not doing their job and everything else. That to me is a racist act. But as far as Nolan Wells being with his friends, they're taking pictures, they're drinking beer, whatever the case may be. They're spending time together. So it doesn't look like it was a racist act at that point, right? Okay, let's go down the timeline. We're going to go down the timeline. Ready? The boat leaves the dock at 9:56 in the morning. And so in 2026, you're not going to be able to get away with a crime, all right, that you was able to get away with 30 years ago. So whatever crime you was getting away with 30 years ago, you're not going to get away with now. All right? Everything has cameras, everything has GPS. There's so many things now that help authorities make a decision or have evidence on you when you commit a crime. All right? So the GPS lets us know that the boat left the dock at 9:56 in the morning. They get to the Horn Island, the island that they were at, or whatever the case may be, at 11:14 in the morning. Okay? 5 hours pass by. Okay? 5 hours pass by, and what happens? Somebody makes the mistake of making a call. Maybe they made the call because they got scared. No, they got scared. They got scared. Listen, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, you don't necessarily gotta leave unless you're hungry. First of all, and you should have something with you. Like you shouldn't be drinking. Okay, without on an empty stomach, right? So 4 o'clock, the sun is still out. In reality, you can still be chilling on the island. You can still be chilling on the boat, whatever the case may be, right? But instead, they made a call to the Cito dispatch, and they told them that the boat bilge pump was not working, and that the boat was sinking. Right? Watch this. Watch this. Ready? The call was at 4 o'clock. What happens during the call is was suspicious, right? I'll show you the voice. Matter of fact, I'll show you the call right now so I can finish rolling up. I'm gonna play the I'm gonna play the audio of the sea towing from my girlfriend. I apologize if you guys don't hear it, but I'm gonna let her listen to the audio real quick, okay? And then we're gonna get back to the voices heard in the audio, because the whole point is that if there's people around the caller and the word and name of Nolan comes out, then Nolan was there. Period. Can nobody deny that? At 4 o'clock. Okay, so I'm gonna let you listen to this. Ready? Watch this. All right. So one thing is, there's no way you're in 30 feet of water. 30 feet of water. You're underground. You're underwater. 30 feet of water. That part didn't even make sense. The kid doesn't even know what the fuck they're scared. He wants to get the boat sank, right? Right. Hold on. There's something on the audio that I want you to hear. Hold on. Hold on. Ready? This is the same call enhanced. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Where the fuck is? Find the controller. I'm gonna share this. Hold on. Can I do it off of here? All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna listen to the audio. Give me a second here. Watch this. Fucking TV, YouTube TV is fucking fucked, man. I'm gonna light up.
Hey Drew, does that mean we're trending? No, Dad. Come see the new Beauty Rest Black and save up to $1,000 on Serta mattresses at Sit and Sleep.
Europe river cruising, 13 days, $29.99, including flights with Holiday Max. Cruise.
It looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you on Horn Island?
Yeah.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We are sinking, yeah.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not.
Watch this, ready?
Living in California is already too expensive. Now Sacramento politicians are back.
Hear more, a different segment of that SEATOW, that's SEATOW, called Listen.
Right. It looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you on Horn Island?
Yeah.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We are sinking, yeah.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
17
foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
You have it aground.
We are sinking, yeah.
YouTube is fucking around.
For being with us.
Nancy Gray's got a black card now. One, let me let you know how Puerto Rico works. Puerto Rico has notorious beaches, okay? To the point where we understand that, you know, tourists or even the local can be pulled by the current from underneath. You know what I mean? So what they do is, whenever something happens like this, as soon as possible, if the police, listen, the police goes out there, they try to do their job. If the police can't do their job, or they're like, there's a certain amount of hours that already passed, they get the Coast Guard involved. Right away. Not once did they try to use the Coast Guard. Okay? Not once. They decided to say, no, we didn't need the Coast Guard for this. That's what they decided to do. And then it took them 2 days later. Okay? 2 days later. Fell dead. Okay? We're going to get to it. Watch this. Ready? Yeah, I just want to shit. There's no excuse for not finding the body in 24 hours.
If you sit face down, that also doesn't make sense to me. If you face down, the blood will, just by nature of gravity, this way.
So right now, we've got a lot of questions been asked. The second doctor says this is all still pending investigation.
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
You hear that?
Chico Assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all put?
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
Mm.
Chico Assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking.
You hear that?
Can
All
y'all
the
put
commotion in the
membership?
All right, of course. How far is the coming up, sir? Can you give me a description?
Wake the
Ankles?
fuck up. Wake the fuck up.
Hello?
Look, see? He's
Hey.
distracted
Yes.
The caller is
How far
distracted.
the water coming up, sir?
by what's happening.
It's going up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
What did we just hear? What was that? One more time, please.
Chico Assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please tell me we have a membership?
All right, of course. How far is the coming up, sir?
Wake the fuck up.
Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
All right, boom. That's all I wanted you to see, right? Boom. That's all I needed you to see. So, based off that call, that happened at 4 o'clock. How do we know that? The GPS of the the GPS of the boat is not gonna tell us what time they called, but the sea tow dispatch will. That's evidence right there. Boom. 4 o'clock. Okay. These white people, or white kids, whatever, they all got scared and they all lied. Okay. They all made up different lies and they're all trying to figure out which lie was going to work. Okay. All right. I want people to understand that. Here's why. Ready? The call was at 4 o'clock p.m., but the boat with the GPS, the boat leaves the island at 4:30, 4:31. Hold on. After 4:31, the boat was towed 3 miles. That's not after 4:31. They're not giving us an accurate time on that. That's not GPS. Most likely that has to be registered by something else or someone else, or if they really went out there, the tow company or whatever, the sea tow dispatch. Okay. It says here, it was towed for 3 miles and on its own after. The boat was able to travel on its own after. Okay. Okay. At 5:44, the FBI decided to pull this because Mississippi, they don't know how to do the job. Watch this. At 5:44, the boat arrives at the original dock. At 5:52, the boat travels to Fort Bio. At 6:06, they move the boat to the original dock, and the boat is then moved by a vehicle to the home. So it's taken out of the water and it's taken to a home, right? Okay. Now, regardless of how many lies they can have 100 lies. Okay? They can have over 100 lies. And regardless of the lies, The conclusion is they left someone they took with them. They left Nolan Wells there. Okay? They all trying to make up a lie. Why? Why are they trying to make up a lie? Because leaving someone stranded on an island is a serious crime. It leads to the charges of criminal abandonment, manslaughter, or even murder. Now, do we see why they're all guilty? Point blank, period. They left them there. That's the conclusion. Now, here's the thing, right? Prior to the audio, what could have happened? So prior to that call, prior to the 4:00 p.m., what could have happened here? The one thing that could not probably, I mean, listen, if it was an incident or accident, okay? If it was an incident or accident, why would you have to lie? You don't have to lie. You just explain exactly what happened, and that's it, right? You explain, you could kill it. You explain exactly what happened, whether he slipped and fall, and he hit his head on the boat, on the edge of the boat, or something like that, ended up unconscious, whatever. So if it was an incident or accident, why lie? Here's the biggest mistake. Here's the biggest mistake they all made. They didn't take him. They didn't take Nolan Wells with them. They left him. They didn't take him. Meaning that whether it was an incident or accident or even alcohol poisoning, they could have taken him to medical attention. They didn't do that. They left him on the island. They're guilty. They're all guilty. And all of them, and if they all continue lying, they all need to be locked up for conspiracy. All of them. It's that simple. It doesn't take a scientist to solve a crime, people. It just takes evidence and facts, information. You gather the shit together. And that's the one thing, even though horseplay or somebody, if somebody actually choked them or, they were fighting or whatever, or horseplay, whatever, somebody need to step forward or they need to snitch because they're going to get in trouble, or they should. All of them can get locked up. So they need to give up that one person if that was the case. But what I really think happened was there was alcohol poisoning. They felt guilty. They fucking made the mistake of leaving them there. And they abandoned them. And they probably don't know the law. They didn't think, oh, we're not actually physically killing them. But they probably were confused with laws, or they don't know about laws, and they don't understand that criminal abandonment is an actual thing. So I think it was alcohol poisoning. Instead of actually trying to help them and actually get them, medical attention, whatever the case may be, they left them there. And now everybody's like trying to make up a story, and everybody's just like lying. They're lying. There was a guy in the group that stated that Nolan stayed, and was with a female on the island. But in the audio, it shows that they mentioned the name at least twice. When you mention the name twice, that's no coincidence, all right? The female story is totally different. They went and interviewed the female that they were talking about. She said, no, I didn't see him. The stories are not adding up. The lies are just made up. And July 6th, 2 days later, the body was found dead. And everybody's making content on it. But they're not pointing out the obvious. This is the timeline. The obvious is conspiracy is happening right now between the group of kids or people that were on that boat and that they're all lying about a criminal abandonment. There you have it. That's the timeline. That's the timeline, y'all. July 4th, they go, they take pictures, they're drinking, everything is okay. That's why I said alcohol poisoning. Who feels guilty? Who feels guilty? What happened with that alcohol poisoning? What happened? What happened with that alcohol poisoning? It could have been fentanyl. It could have been as simple as fentanyl. Someone feels guilty, and they all started. Hey, they all started fucking lying like a motherfucker. What? Nobody knows none of that shit. I know. What are you talking about? Shut up. These people are fucking. They're in fucking Mississippi. Do you understand? Not that they're kids. Law enforcement ain't on like that over there. This ain't. You ain't talking about LAPD, NYPD. You ain't talking about Chicago's finest or Philadelphia, police department doing their job or detectives doing their job. The FBI done picked up the fucking case. Yeah, because they suck. They don't know how to do their fucking job. They didn't do a whole lot of shit that they were supposed to do. Period. It's over. Now FBI gonna reveal everything and they're gonna try to figure out what happened or whatever the case may be. They need to raid whoever owns the boat. They need to raid all that shit. They need to get as much information as possible. They need to raid the kids. They need to get all their cell phones, all their fucking. They need to do all that shit. And we're gonna probably get to the bottom of it. We'll see how the FBI decides to move in this case, because FBI pick and chooses what the fuck they want to do, you know. But that's the timeline right here. Boom. And the conclusion is they left Nolan Wells there. This is why I said somebody should just write a letter to all them kids and say, I know what you did last summer. Because, this is eventually somebody's going to have to snitch. If you do conspiracy, once you do a conspiracy trial on all those kids or all those teenagers, whatever, 18, 19-year-olds, somebody's going to snitch. Somebody's going to snitch. You're going to get the answer you want, the answer everybody's looking for. But that's pretty much it. That's what we have for 30 minutes here, wrapping up. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells. We don't know what happened. And we're all asking the same question: who, what, when, where, and why? Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.